Silver's on the scene. It is Friday, September 27th, and I hope everyone's week has been great. Mine has, and I'm hoping that yours has as well. The weekend is here. The weekend is here. Let's jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is big. I'm a week of having this information. 1 week. And I'm ready to share it with you. It's big. Let's go. Sebastian Rogers missing 214 days, over 7 months. To the day, 7 months was yesterday, September 26th. Gone from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. 15 years old, autistic. Where is Sebastian? I'm going to take a minute. I just want to play this real quick because you'll understand. Let me just play it really quick. Here we go.
Silver's on the scene today. Silver's on the scene. We will not go away. We won't forget you, that's a promise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I wanted to play that, okay? The reason I wanted to play that, there's a reason. We won't forget you. We won't forget you. We won't forget you. That's a promise. Say his name. Sebastian Rogers. That is so relevant to what we are about to discuss, because I think this information is big. And let me say this. I started asking questions, but how I got to speaking to someone, it just came to me. It's one of those things where I fully believe Silver's on the scene. When you put yourself out there on the scene and you are looking for this boy, things will find you. So, where do we go? Let's jump right into it. It's right here. This is the job site of Christopher Proudfoot. Oh, let me stop. Hold on. One thing. Let me jump in here. What I was told. And everything in here is allegedly, in my opinion. So I was told information. I'm about to share it. I think it's big. I think it's huge. I was told information by a co-worker of Christopher Proudfoot's. So I'm taking that information, I'm sharing it. I'm not going to share any names, okay? There's a couple of details. I'm not going to get too specific. I'll get specific enough you'll understand. But just to make sure, there's no blowback back to the person I spoke to. But here's the big thing. I'm going to take what I was told and then I'm going to put my spin on it, right? Someone says this and I'm going to tell you what I think about that. And that's allegedly in my opinion. And I may repeat that throughout the video, but also taking what I was told is allegedly in their opinion. However, they interacted directly with him as they worked with him. So just want to throw that up there. So that's where we're at. And back to, we will not forget you, Sebastian. That's a promise. You're going to see how relevant that is and what I'm about to share with you. So, the job site. As you know, in my video of searching in Memphis, as well as yesterday's recap where I talked about Memphis, I really didn't even know I was going to go by the job site. When GPS was taking me to my location to search, did not know I was going by the job site. And there it is. And you see the cranes, right? And we know Chris was a tower crane operator, right? And so he worked on one of those cranes. Now, this is big. Information from the job site. Chris Proudfoot job site. Did you know? Because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I put the did you know in there because I don't think I knew any of these things. I knew things related to them, but you're about to see what I was told. I did not know this. And after being told these, I got very emotional, and I'll explain that when I cover everything I was told. But did you know? So as you listen to these things, Did you know these things? Because I don't think these things are out there. And it's going to lead us right to, we won't forget you. The people that are out looking and searching for Sebastian, who are trying to bring him home and find him. But did others forget you? Did others forget you on the same day you went missing? Allegedly, in my opinion, yes, they did. So let's dive into it, right? Let's dive into it. Let's not waste any time. You know, I watch YouTube videos and I go, why are you wasting so much time? Let's dive into it. And we're going to do it like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this up here. And that is right here. And then I'm going to throw this up there right here. Okay, so here's what we know. We're going to do this like this because I want to reveal these things to you as we go through. I'm going to keep Sebastian over here so we can see him. What did I learn? What did I learn? So here's how this came about. I made a visit to RV to make sure, an RV place in Memphis that I'd never been to see if Chris had stayed there. Because based on where I was looking, it would make sense for Chris to stay there. It's the closest RV to the job site. While I was there, I learned a lot. Let's jump into it. I was able to speak to someone who worked with Chris, because Chris is not working there now. You know, one of the questions somebody asked, I was talking to more than one person. Where's Chris now? I don't care where Chris is. I'm not worried about where Chris is now until we find Sebastian. And when we do, then we'll focus on that. That's your get justice part, right? Get justice. Let's find him. Let's keep the awareness alive and find him. So, what did I learn? Here we go. Diving in. Big. RV not at job site. So by coming by the job site for the first time and seeing it, my thoughts are, you could not put, not just Chris, but anybody that worked there could not park their RV on that job site and just wake up and come right out and work. There's really not room for it. So talking to the person, I said, hey, could he have put his RV here? Oh, no, absolutely not. No one can. Okay, so there were a lot of comments. Oh, Chris was at the job site, his RV. It was not. Not only was it not at the job site, Chris's RV was not at the Memphis part that I was speaking to. Okay, it's about 8 miles from the job site. 6 miles from the location I was looking at when I was looking for a possible body bag. Great, straight shot into the RV. From the RV to the job site, so it would make sense. And there are people that work at the job site that are staying there. We discussed Yogi and Easy Days and all these other ones, but this one, he was not there. Furthermore, the one thing I didn't discover, one thing I did not learn is where he was the night Sebastian went missing. The thoughts were this, because I asked the question, the thoughts were more than likely Yogi. Okay, but we're not 100% sure on that. Okay, what's next? Shady. Shady, not to trust. The words I was told were this. I believe he's a shady person and would not trust anything he says or does. Would not trust anything he says or does. That's really not revelation, because we've all heard him in his interviews where we see him, or where he calls into channels or podcasts or ever how he's talking. This is allegedly in my opinion, but at the same time, I don't know Chris Proudfoot. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. All I have to go on are his own words and behaviors. And I've said this before. Go back, find some videos. His words and behaviors make him unlikable. Make him suspect in this entire scenario. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one I saved. I put it kind of in the middle, Relieved at 11 a.m. Yeah, there's that pause. Let me pause a little longer. Relieved at 11 a.m. Chris was deemed unsafe on the job site. Yeah, you heard me right. Unsafe. Safety risk for himself and others. That is a big job he does. If you don't understand tower crane operator, let's just throw this picture right here back up. You see how tall these things are? You see that these buildings are made with iron. These are iron beams, steel beams that are lifted up by these cranes that Chris operates. So what I'm saying is, if you got to be clear-headed, you got to be sharp and focused. And evidently Chris is. He wouldn't be doing this job. Let's give him credit. Evidently he's sharp and focused, and he can operate one of these, because he's up there. He's way up there himself operating this thing. But on this day, ooh, we don't want that revealed. Hold on. On this day, at 11 a.m., 4.5 hours. That's right, 4.5 hours after reporting his stepson missing, meaning three-way call with Katie, 6:30 a.m. Not only is he still working, he's still working at 11 a.m. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he was relieved because he was not focused. Not focused. Off. O-F-F. He was off. On the same day, his stepson goes missing. So he was relieved. Chris wants to tell you, everyone listen, myself and anyone who will listen, that the reason he didn't get home till 1:30 or 2, leaving the job site at 11, I don't know if he specifically said 11, but he probably did, was because no one was there to relieve him. BS. Allegedly, in my opinion, but hey, I've been told there were more than one relievers. There was at least one reliever and possibly two on the site that day. Come on, Chris. Let's move on. Arrived 6:30 a.m. Chris wants to make you believe 5:15. Why would he need to be at the jobs? Let's think about this for a second. Why would a tower crane operator, when no daylight is up, it is dark, why would he need to be on the job site at 5:15? I think you've seen some other creators go out there and see that others may show up, inside workers, drywall workers, many different types of construction people at 5:15. What I was told is there would be no reason to be there before 6:30 a.m. And then you're going to start in your crane around 7. 6:30 is when he's reporting his stepson missing. 4.5 hours later, he's relieved. Why tell us 5:15? Come on, Chris. Focus off. O-F-F. Unlike other days. I told you, I'm going to give Chris credit. I will give people credit whenever I can. I'd like to give Chris a lot of credit. Chris, you're listening to this. Talk to me. Email me. silversonthescene@yahoo.com. 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 You are making yourself unlikable. You are making yourself untrustworthy, shady, not to be trusted. Words and actions. Words and actions make you like that. Your focus was off, unlike other days. You ever watch Columbo? Columbo will notice when someone's focus is off. Law enforcement notices when someone's focus is off. Let's refer to other cases, high-profile cases. Just think about them. You'll hear on the media, you'll hear about law officials going and saying, hey, Jim, how was Bill the day his son went missing? Was he normal? Was he upset about his son? Did he want to find his son? Was that why he was off? Or was he just normal, like a normal day? Behavior and focus. This day, a guy who's very sharp, he has to be sharp to do this job. But on this day, his focus was off, unlike other days. And we're going to end it with this, and we'll cover them all. This is the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just say I get relieved from my job, okay? Whoever it is that comes over and says, hey, man, we're going to have to pull you off. You're just not focused. Then you would think, okay, so let's take Chris's words. I was relieved when they got a reliever. That's why I had to work till 11, okay? So you would think he's reported Sebastian missing. He gets off the phone at 6:30, turns to his supervisor if he's on the site there or on his way to site. When he gets to work, hey, man, my stepson's missing. I need to get out of here as soon as I can. Now, I would leave right then. Hell, I would call him. I wouldn't even be on the job site. Soon, I would be headed towards Hendersonville while I'm on the phone with Katie and the law enforcement and the sheriff or whoever they called, right? And I'm like, I'm on my way. I would have probably been there, 3-hour drive. We know this. I've done it 5 or 6 times, 3-hour drive. I'd have been there at 9:30. I don't think Chris, out of his own words, got there till 1:30, 2 p.m. He was working. So when they come to relieve him, and you would think he'd go, I'm so sorry. I know I'm off. I probably shouldn't have been working. My stepson has disappeared. We don't know where he is. He didn't, though. He didn't report Sebastian missing to his work. What? So let's think about this. Hang the phone up with Katie. Law enforcement's descending on her house. Boom, big searches. Everybody's out looking for Sebastian. Chris Proudfoot, allegedly, in my opinion, based on what I was told, gets off the phone and goes to work. And 4.5 hours later is still working. I'm just visualizing moving those levers and picking up that steel and that iron or whatever and lifting it up to where they can put it in. He's working, and his stepson is missing. His wife is all sorts about herself. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? 4.5 hours later? Now, here's the question I have. He was relieved. Not his doing. He didn't say, raise my hand, stepson's missing, get someone over here for me. He was working. The first question I have, what would have happened had he not been relieved? Would he have worked the full shift? I'm assuming 7 to 3. Maybe they go 7 to 7. I don't know. 7 to 4. Would he have worked the whole shift? And then told us that there was no one there to relieve him? Not only did he not report him missing, when I was told that he was relieved, I asked the question this. I said this. So he probably said, like, stepson's missing. Oh, no. We had no clue his stepson was missing. I said, what? You mean to tell me this guy's working 4.5 hours and he hasn't told anybody No. We didn't learn this till after he was gone. We didn't learn this until after he was gone from the job site. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I think we've been asking this question since day 1, day 2, February 26th, February 27th. And now the question's just flowing even more as we're learning this information. So let's recap. Let's recap like this. Let's follow a timeline. Katie calls Chris, can't find him. Okay? These are what they're telling us. Can't find him. Let's call the sheriff's department. Why, Katie? Why, Chris, you didn't call 911? 911. 911. Beep, beep, beep. 3 numbers. Boom. I'm going to ask a question. Was it because 911 is recorded? Allegedly, in my opinion, that's why you didn't call 911. So they report him missing. Chris then gets off the phone with Katie and not get in his truck and head east to be by her side to look for his stepson. He started working. Tells us had no one to relieve him. Now we know there was at least one there to relieve him, if not two. And that he didn't stop working at 11 on his own. He was relieved. He was pulled off the job because focus was off, unlike other days. His behavior was off. He's a sharp guy. Let's go back. I keep going back to this. He has to be a sharp guy to operate these. But on this day, the day this boy went missing, his stepson, focus was off. What else? Do not trust him. These are people working with him. Who knows you better than really two people? Your spouse or your coworker, right? There's those jokes. She's my wife work. He's my wife husband, right? We spend the most time with the people we work with and the people we live with. Roommates, family, spouse, co-workers. Not to be trusted. And no, he could not have that RV. Nobody could on that job site. So, what do we say with all this? We scratch our heads and we go, wow. So for me, when I approached to ask, did Christopher Proudfoot stay at this RV? I was looking at a minute or less. Yes, no, take the flyer, thank you. This turned into about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I did leave my phone number, and I don't expect a call. I'm not looking for any really more information, because let me get to this part. And that's this. And I'm going to bring him center here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you, I'm compelled to find Sebastian Rogers. I'm compelled to do whatever I can when I'm not working my full-time job, providing for my family to pay my bills. When I have time, I'm looking for this teenager, this boy who should not be missing. Okay? And I've told Silvers too how passionate I am about it, because not only should he not be missing, but in my opinion, other than his biological dad, his mother and stepdad did not protect him. And that's just wrong. We need to find him and get justice for him. So after I spent these 15, 20 minutes, Silvers 2 was in the car, and I turned to come back to the car, and ladies and gentlemen, I was hit with a wave of emotion. A wave of emotion. At first, I didn't understand it. I get in the car. Silvers 2 could see it immediately. What's wrong? What happened? What did he say? What did they say? All these things. And I'm like, I didn't expect that. And I got to take a moment. And then I said this. They've hurt this boy. They've hurt this boy. And that's why I'm emotional. Ladies and gentlemen, based on what I was told, based on what I just shared with you, based on the behavior of his stepfather, his stepdad, Chris Proudfoot, allegedly, in my opinion, my thoughts of what I've always believed grew much stronger, so strong at that moment that it really hit me emotionally, a wave. And after I had my few minutes of just, they've hurt this boy. And I don't believe he's with us anymore because of it. Then I got angry. And I was fueled to go dive into those woods, to go walk that water, to go wherever I need to go to find this boy. I've always been motivated to do it, compelled to do it, and act on it. I found out this information before I put the boots on last Friday. And I took off for 7 different locations between Memphis, South Haven, Horn Lake, Hendersonville, and 2 areas around Hendersonville. So, if you've had any reasons or not reasons to dive in and help as someone has deemed Sebastian's army, I hope that these right here, these things we just discussed, I hope these things make you change your mind or make you do more than you're already doing. Because, as I say right here, what I was told, and I'll say it again, allegedly, in my opinion, there are 2 people heavily involved with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot. If one of you did it, then I need the other one to come forward. How are you living with this knowledge? And if neither one of you did it, show us proof you didn't. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, like I know, the lack of attention they're giving their son, their stepson, since he has gone missing, is unreal. In my opinion, it's completely unreal. And what I was told that day verified all that. Sebastian himself, in my opinion, with how I search and how I reach out to communicate to him in my way, has confirmed he's no longer with us. And I hope, I'm going to say this, I hope I'm wrong and he is with us, and I hope I'm wrong, they didn't hurt him. But in my opinion, my belief, with what I've researched and what I've looked into, he's not with us anymore. And yes, something was done to him. So, I don't want to keep on. I could keep on going with that, keep on going with that, keep on going with that, as long as you would sit and listen to me keep on going with that. But the thing is this. What can we do? So you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, what can I do? This has motivated me even more to do. We keep his awareness alive. We put a flyer out. We share a flyer electronically through social media, or email a friend, or email a restaurant, or walk it into a restaurant. As Silvers 2 and I traveled this week with the flyers, we'd be sitting in a restaurant, we'd pull out a flyer and say, hey, do you mind putting this up? At least take it from me. You know, I told you that Easy Days had it posted up from me emailing it to them. But we have to keep this awareness alive. That's the best thing you can do. And then we'll go looking and searching for him. We will come together as a community, working as one, tips and leads and thoughts and beliefs and theories of where he may be. And then we'll find him. And ladies and gentlemen, when we find him, we will get justice for him. Because this teenager, look at him, look at these smiles. I just saw a video the other day, and it was several months ago, maybe back when he actually went missing 7 months ago. But a school teacher talking about how positive he is. Look, I see nothing but positive. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Why would someone do anything to this kid? Why would you treat or mistreat this kid in any way? So let's keep his awareness alive. Let's find him. And let's bring him home and get justice. And I'm not going to play it again, but the reason I played the video, if you haven't seen it now, is Sebastian, we will not forget you. That's a promise. We're going to keep digging, and we're going to keep digging deeper and deeper to find you, to find what happened to you, and to get justice for you. Others have forgotten you on day one. Hands clean, let's move on with our lives. We won't. We are Sebastian's army, and we're here for you. So, I'll just throw this back up one more time. Take a look at it. Not at the job site. You can't park there. Not at that Memphis park. Shady, not to be trusted. Relieved at 11 a.m. Arrived at 6:30. Focus off like unlike other days. And ladies and gentlemen, he did not report his stepson missing. Wow is the only thing there you can say. I guess the last part I could say is I did ask this. Do you think he had something to do with this? And just as I feel, the answer was yes. Okay, have a great weekend. Friday's over. The week's done. It's time to push into the weekend. Love Saturdays. And going through that weekend with your family, with your friends, have a ton of fun. Be safe in doing so. And be at peace while you're doing that. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the support. And as always, with Silver's on the scene, we're looking for Sebastian. We will not forget you, son. And we will keep searching. Thank you. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned. More to come.